Hello again. This is the second video I've made on Saturday, March the 1st. So I just vlogged about why I'm so busy, why I'm wearing this hat, because it's very cold. And I'm sitting here in my bed, in my bedroom. And yeah, I sleep on a bed. I actually have hardwood floors, and so I don't sleep on a futon, although I have them for when guests come. I don't have tatami or anything like that. Anyway, this video is all going to be about learning Japanese. So I get some requests, and people on YouTube, people on my regular blog ask me about learning Japanese, want me to do videos about speaking Japanese, etc. And there's so many people on YouTube making these types of videos that are probably way better at it than I'll ever be. But I am interested. I am trying this year to be more studious. So recently I hired a private tutor, and I go see her now every week for an hour and a half a lesson, and I'm really trying to study this year and improve my Japanese. But I get comments all the time from people, and I just wanted to dispel this myth that I think persists about living in Japan equals fluent in Japanese. So as an example, I came to Japan in 2004, July of 2004, and I didn't leave and go home to America until the following spring, so like April of 2005. So I'd lived here for about 9 or so months. When I got back to America, I noticed that a lot of people would come up and say, yeah, Jason, you've been living in Japan. You must be fluent. And I'll talk to people now, and I'll get emails now from, wow, you've been in Japan for so long. You must be fluent. And it's just not true. I so wish it was, but it's not. And I just want to kind of, disown you of the notion that simply coming to live here will make you fluent in Japanese, because it won't. Learning Japanese is difficult. I don't think many people would argue with that. It might not be more difficult than a lot of other languages, but it takes work, and you have to study even after you come to live here. So I know a lot of you that watch my videos want to come to Japan, want to live in Japan, maybe even want to teach in Japan like I'm doing, and so hopefully you're already thinking about studying Japanese, or have studied Japanese, because it really will make your life here that much better. For me, there are two main reasons why Japanese is difficult, and I think these are common reasons that a lot of gaijin foreigners have when they try to study Japanese. One is, say you're studying Spanish or French or a Romance language that's somewhat similar to English. You could probably read a Spanish newspaper or a Spanish menu. You might not pronounce the words correctly. You might not know the meanings of all the words, but you would probably be able to read it. You just simply cannot do that in Japan. Because, as a lot of you know, there are 3 alphabets in Japanese. There's the hiragana, the katakana, and the kanji. So in English, we have about 26 letters, we have 26 letters. In hiragana, the main alphabet for Japanese, there's, I think, 42 hiragana, and the katakana corresponds to the hiragana. So there are 42 of them as well. The katakana is used for anything that's a loan word from another language. So, for instance, my name, Jason, is written in katakana. A company name like McDonald's, McDonaldo, is written in katakana. And, words that they just couldn't write in Japanese. Volleyball. There's no V in Japanese, so they use katakana. But we also have kanji. Now, most of you know what kanji are. If you don't, they're the pictographs that the Chinese invented, that the Japanese borrowed and fashioned their own writing system out of. And they're the little pictures or characters, whatever you want to call them, that represent usually a whole idea, a whole word. So there's a kanji for mother, there's a kanji for father, a kanji for rain, a kanji for the number 5, a kanji for Friday, etc., etc., etc. And they make learning Japanese very difficult. So you're supposed to know about 2,000 kanji to be considered a literate adult here. By the time you graduate high school, you should know 2,000 kanji approximately. I know maybe about 500, and so I'm not doing too good on that way. There's a famous Japanese test called the Japanese Language Proficiency Test, the JLPT, which I took level 3, level 4 being the easiest and level 1 being the hardest. And I'd like to take level 2. The test is in December, so we'll see if I can work on it and have that happen. There's about 300 kanji required for the level 3 test that you need to know to be tested on. There's about 1,000 that you need to know for the level 2 test, so it's quite a jump. But really, kanji isn't even, I would consider myself fairly fluent in Japanese if I could converse more and speak Japanese better. But, kanji just make acquiring the language more difficult. And the other thing along with that is, when you read a Japanese sentence, it's all pushed together. There's no spaces in between the words. There's topic markers, which are words like wa, ga, o, ni, that help you figure out what the subject is, what the verb is, etc. But there's no spaces. So when you just glance at a Japanese sentence, I read Japanese very slowly because of these factors. So the tutor that I'm using now makes me speak Japanese with her. And this is very good because even though I do a job where I speak English, I work with coworkers who speak decent English most of the time. A lot of my friends are other foreigners, other ALTs. So, I'm on the web. I use English on the web. I don't speak a lot of Japanese. And when you think about, like, when you go out in your daily life, wherever you live, and you go to the post office or the bank or the grocery store or a restaurant, I mean, think about what you say to those people that help you and etc. You're not talking about deep political issues with these people. You're just saying simple phrases. Mail this letter. How much is this? Fill my tank. Can I have 2, please? Etc. And these are easy words you can learn. You can get by in Japan very easily on about 50 words. Everybody here knows a little bit of English. You'd be surprised. And a lot of the signs are bilingual, on the roads, etc. But, the more you can learn Japanese, the better. But you will not just come here and by osmosis pick up the language. Your accent will improve, your vocabulary, your understanding will get way better, but your ability to read and write, and especially speak, will only improve through study. So this year I really want to try and improve. Maybe I'll post some videos about my struggles to learn Japanese, and you guys can commiserate. And, if you're studying Japanese, ganbatte. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And hopefully, if you're thinking about coming and living in Japan, you've already started to study. Okay? So that's it for today. More videos on the way. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Okay? Mata ne.